Most people think Formula One is where a racing career begins. But by the time a driver reaches F1, the path has already been decided years earlier. F1 is not the starting point. It is the final filter in a system that begins in karting and moves through Formula 4, Formula 3, and Formula 2. Each step changes everything: the car, the speed, the pressure, even what talent means. And most drivers don't fail in F1. They fail long before they ever get there. The entire junior racing ladder exists for one purpose: to find the 20 most prepared drivers in the world. Not just the fastest, but the ones who can survive pressure, expectation, and everything that comes with a professional racing career. Because F1 doesn't reward potential, it rewards readiness. Karting is where everything begins. And not what most people imagine. These are not rental karts. Junior racing karts are extremely light, low to the ground, and built purely for competition. No suspension, no comfort, no power steering, just a rigid frame, exposed engine, and direct mechanical grip. Speeds reach 100 to 160 kilometers per hour, and every movement is immediate. Every mistake is visible. Every battle is intense. There is no forgiveness. The goal in karting is simple: learn control, instinct, and racecraft under pure pressure. But even here, results aren't purely about talent. Better equipment and more funding shape who stands out before the ladder truly begins. Formula 4 is the first step into real single-seater racing. The cars look like miniature F1 machines: open wheels, aerodynamic wings, carbon fiber chassis. Faster than karts, reaching 200 to 210 kilometers per hour, but the real difference is how they behave. Drivers now deal with downforce, braking zones, tire wear, and structured race weekends. In karting, you react. In Formula 4, you begin to think. The goal is not domination, it is adaptation. Formula 3 is where the system goes international. Cars reach 270 kilometers per hour and generate far more aerodynamic grip. Drivers are closer in performance, more aggressive, more experienced. Every mistake costs more. So Formula 3 is no longer about flashes of speed. It is about surviving an entire season. Consistency becomes the real currency. Formula 2 is the final gate before F1. Cars are close in behavior to F1 machinery: fast, heavy, and highly sensitive to tires and strategy. Top speeds hit 330 kilometers per hour, but raw speed no longer separates drivers. Everything becomes about execution. Drivers manage tires, adapt to conditions, work with engineers, and make decisions under pressure. Because in Formula 2, teams aren't watching who wins. They're watching how you think. Here is where most people misunderstand the system. They assume winning Formula 2 guarantees Formula 1. But F1 is not a reward system. It is a timing system. Teams plan years ahead. Seats are limited and rarely open at the exact moment a champion is ready. So a driver can dominate Formula 2 and still not get a seat. The final step is not just performance. It is opportunity meeting availability. Modern F1 is shaped by driver academies. Teams like Red Bull, Ferrari, and Mercedes track drivers from karting onwards. By the time drivers reach Formula 2, they are often already part of a system, evaluated, trained, and prepared long before a seat opens. Step back and look at the full path, and something becomes clear. This is not just a ladder of racing categories. It is a filtering system disguised as a sport. Karting builds instinct. F4 builds control. F3 builds consistency. F2 proves readiness. But F1 is something else entirely. It is about managing pressure at the highest level, executing under extreme scrutiny, and performing when everything is already decided before you arrive. In F1, speed is expected, but survival is what gets you there, and only a few ever reach the point where both meet. Nothing in Formula 1 is accidental. You're just seeing the outcome. Subscribe if you enjoyed this. It helps a lot.